Hey everybody, it's Brian from quantlabs.net. Today I'm going to show you on my new VirtualBox environment, still running Ubuntu with Eclipse, the IDE. Everything else is the same. I've done tutorials on it. Let's get building some stuff. Okay, now just so folks know, I'm continuing along with a PDF from the CME Agricultural Self Study. That's what it's called, and I've shown some demos already for futures basis trading, I guess you could call it. Let's see, we want to be at chapter 3. It's page 18 that we want. Here we go. Okay, so we're now at chapter 13. And what I'm going to show you is the first one in this module is buying futures for protection against rising prices. Now, in each one, there's 3 examples. And I've got a very simple example that will just ask all the queries in Eclipse here and do some very simple calculations. I've done the walkthrough. This is essentially this one right here, and it's the same as my shorting hedge, but we're now buying protection against rising prices. So I'm going to run this. Okay, so as you can tell, we'll run the first example. So here's the data we're going to enter. Okay. And let me get that out of the way. So for the contract 1 first price, we're doing 580. And here 5.8. For the future on contract 1, we do 5.75. Contract 2, 6.2. 6.2. And then next is 6.25 for the future on the second contract. Just to verify. Okay, so this is what's happened, the results. Okay, so we have here change in futures at 50 cents, correct? The change in cash at -40, which that's the case. Basis 5 and -5, correct? And then we've got here 6.2 the cash price in the second contract, gain or actually loss on the futures positions, and then our final result of 5.7, which is right. So you can see that this sort of works. So let's do the second example. I just keep saying this is never rocket science, but this is really good for newbies who are at it. For me, I would consider myself definitely idiot-proof for this. 5.8, 5.75 for the futures contract 1. Cash 5.54, and then 5.54 again. Okay, so here, let me just, I like that, that'll help out a lot. Okay, so here, the second example, we've got gain, change in cash 35, futures at 30. Basis change 5 cents on the first contract. Basis change on the second contract is nothing. Buy cash at 545. Gain of a 30 on the futures position, and that leaves us at a net price of 5.75. Finally, the last example. Now, these are just different scenarios of what happens on the net income when the basis changes, things like that. You need to read this document on your own. I'm just showing you to verify all this works. All the source code will be available. I'll just keep it as an Eclipse project. So finally, our last example here, we're going to do 5.8 cash for contract 1, 5.75 on second contract. Cash at 6.1 on the second contract. Futures position at 6.03 on the futures second contract. So here we are. Okay, 28 cents gain basis on the contract, 5 cents. Same with 7 cents in the second contract. Buy cash at 6.1. Looks like we have a loss of negative 28. The futures position. Final output, final income of 582, which is correct. Okay, so there you go. That's a little C++ program example how you could, run against different various functions to scenario of buying futures for rising prices. Okay, let's do the next section, which I'll do in another video, on selling futures to protect against falling prices.